Please look at the title for a second. This video is titled The Most Annoying Card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Not the most powerful card, nah, but the one that just drives me up a wall the most. It's pretty powerful, I'd say, popular too, but it isn't just its effect that makes me mad. Hi, I'm UtterSpartan, and I play too much Duel Links. If you don't know it, it's a digital card game based off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original card game, but doesn't share the same field or deck size nor all the same cards. Since I'm not a Yugituber traditionally, I will be explaining some things to my audience that may seem really obvious to others, so my apologies. When you enter the battle phase in any given PvP match on Duel Links, you're likely to get hit by something like the spell card Enemy Controller or the trap card Windstorm of Atakwa. There's more to them, but to make it short, they change the battle positions of your monsters, so you can't attack. Enemy Controller in particular is extremely popular, semi-limited too because of its strength, but you can still counter it. Cards like Galaxy Cyclone or Cosmic Cyclone can get it off of the field before its effect ever goes off. Because of this, they're also commonly played. Basically, any of these face-down battle traps or quick-play spell cards can all be dealt with by commonly played counters. But now, it is time to talk about the most annoying card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I've got no build-up, it's Sphere Kuriboh. Let's read the card, shall we? Sphere Kuriboh is a level 1 Dark Fiend with this effect. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Change the attacking monster to defense position. When you ritual summon a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. That last sentence is basically irrelevant, as the deck that effect would be used in, Cyber Angels, was nuked from orbit. There's still a cheesy Relinquish deck that can use it though, not exactly meta. The main thing I want to bring up here is that first effect. You can discard it to change the position of one attacking monster defense position. Basically the same effect Enemy Controller is most commonly used for. Monster cards that discard themselves for an effect are unofficially known as hand traps. There are few counters to hand traps, even in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. This became such an issue that a card was printed seemingly to give modern players a counter to them. It was later semi-limited because I guess it worked a little too well. It's unlimited again though. I personally think Sphere Kuriboh should join the club and be limited to 2 or 1 copies per deck. Here's some more explanation for that. In Duel Links, there are effectively 0 counters to Sphere Kuriboh. Now I am not speaking literally here. There are cards like Divine Wrath or Divine Punishment that do counter Sphere Kuriboh, but they are rarely played. Divine Wrath causes you to go -1 in card advantage and only hits monster effects, and Divine Punishment needs a whole deck to effectively work. Now consider a card like Cosmic Cyclone and everything it hits. Cosmic Cyclone hits any spell or trap whenever you want. And if you look at the most popular cards for PvP, I think you can find plenty of targets, but not so much for Divine Wrath, and the cost is greater. Let's check out some other hypothetical counters. Abyssal Designator makes you pay 1,000 life points, then lets you declare a type and attribute, and then your opponent must send one monster with both the declared type and attribute from their hand or deck to the graveyard. If your opponent only has one Sphere Kuriboh and no other Dark Fiends in their deck, then sure, this will work. But honestly, this card could be so dead if those specific conditions aren't met. And in 20 card decks, can you really afford the space? Heck, if you accidentally use this card against an Archfiend deck, then you might as well start preparing for your own funeral. I only included this because I saw people on Reddit recommending it. Overwhelm is another counter trap that could counter Sphere Kuriboh, but it requires a level 7 or higher monster that was specifically tribute summoned. Most decks that do run in that level range do it through special summoning, and the fact that this card doesn't counter spells is really rough. The recently released Armades, Keeper of Boundaries, does in fact deal with Sphere Kuriboh and more. In the future, I do believe this card will be very popular, however, it isn't perfect. First of all, it doesn't actually counter Sphere Kuriboh, it just can't be activated when it attacks, which means whenever you attack with something else, they will still be hit. Secondly, it's a level 5 Synchro monster, which, due to a severe lack of good tuners, is a card that can't be summoned in most decks. Third, cards like Enemy Controller can still prevent Armades from attacking by activating before he declares an attack. All that said, it is still a great card that I do believe will see major play in the future. Divine Wrath probably is the best counter to Sphere Kuriboh, and it still isn't all that worth running. It is possible that a future format could become so universally monster effect reliant that this card would see massive play, but consider again the IRL card game, which is more like that, and Divine Wrath just doesn't see play. Probably because Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, a hand trap, does monster effect negation better, even if, ironically, it doesn't hit Sphere Kuriboh. This situation could end up playing out the same way in Duel Links. I've been talking for a while now, so let's just chill for a second. Okay, so all of what I said is really only like half the problem. I don't know, maybe 75%? It's certainly not the whole problem here. Another reason why Sphere Kuriboh annoys me is how you get it. Sphere Kuriboh was an ultra rare in the first box Duel Links ever got. Most of the cards in this box are, to be nice, garbage. Seriously, a 1700 attack normal monster is an ultra rare too? Oh boy, watch out for Axe Raider Beatdown. So in 200 packs you are guaranteed just one Sphere Kuriboh. Since one pack is 50 gems or 99 cents, one box comes out to a staggering 10,000 gems or roughly $200. It is possible to get lucky and get it quickly, but you could end up like this poor schmuck who had to burn through 197 packs before it showed up. And remember, that's 197 packs of 99% garbage. Consider the value proposition. Burn through 200 packs for one Sphere Kuriboh, or get a mostly functional archetype by burning through 100 packs of a mini box, or get even more by investing in a newer main box. I can totally see some new player burning through all their gems to get Sphere Kuriboh, ending up with basically no usable deck and then just leaving the game. Rare, but possible. The only acceptable way I see to getting Sphere Kuriboh is using one of the dream tickets Konami occasionally deems us peasants worthy of getting. But again, you may be tempted to use it on many other cards, like Gozuki for a vampire deck. But here's the kicker. It's not a written rule, but Konami does in fact understand how hard they make certain cards to get. So to make people think they got their money's worth, they just don't ban or limit box ultra rare cards. I understand the logic here, but honestly I feel like that notion spits in the face of the purpose of the Forbidden and Limited list. So even if Sphere Kuriboh was the best card in the game by a mile and was torching the meta, it wouldn't be touched. As I said earlier, I would like to see this card limited, but this policy is even more frightening. Don't let the negativity of this video make you think that I don't like Duel Links. There's a lot to like in it, but boy, when it sucks hard. TLDW, Sphere Kuriboh is the most annoying card in Duel Links because it has a very relevant, practically never countered effect and requires an unreasonable investment to acquire. It may or may not be the strongest card in the game, but let me tell you, I feel pretty screwed every time my opponent pulls it out of nowhere. Hey there, this is the end. As I said in the description of my last video, I'm making some smaller videos to strengthen my editing before I make something bigger like that last Doom video. If I made any mistakes in the video, feel free to call me out, and if you have anything like that or something else to say, comment below. I do read the comments. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.